If you cannot be grateful for what you have received, then be thankful for what you have been spared. Job was a wealthy man. He had 10 children, many servants, and his livestock numbered in the thousands. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East. Job's sons were also rich and would annually, on their birthdays, invite their sisters to partake with them in lavish feasts, lasting sometimes for days. Job served as the family priest as well. He feared God so much that he made sure his children were purified following the feasts, in case they had sinned against God. Early in the morning, he would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them, thinking perhaps his children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This was Job's regular custom. Satan, or the anointed cherub, goes before God. Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, Very well then, everything he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger. Skin for skin, Satan replied. A man will give all he has for his own life, but now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, Very well, then he is in your hands, but you must spare his life. So Satan goes, and Job then experiences ultimate human suffering at the hand of Satan, but allowed by God. Men attacked and stole all of Job's oxen and donkeys and killed a portion of his servants. Fire fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and more of Job's servants. More people attacked and stole Job's camels, killing even more of his servants. A mighty wind swept in from the desert and destroyed the house where all of Job's children were gathered for a feast, killing all of them. Satan afflicted Job with painful sores from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head. Following the first 4 tragedies, Job mourns, tore his robe and shaved his head, and then worships, uttering words, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave me, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. After Satan afflicts him with a flesh-eating disease, Job sits in a heap of ashes, scraping himself with shards of pottery and wishing he had never been born. His theology, however, remains intact, even after his wife encourages him to curse God and die. He replied to his wife, You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? And all this, Job did not sin in what he said. When his friends hear about this unthinkable calamities, they pay him a visit to comfort him, but they find him nearly unrecognizable, so they sit on the ground with him for a week, not speaking because his suffering is so great. This was the right response. When a friend is suffering greatly, be there for them. Don't say much. If anything, just be there and pray. Unfortunately, Job's friends finally start talking. Job and his friends discuss suffering. Job's suffering must be the result of his sin, his friends assume anyway. Job, however, as we learned, feared God and shunned evil, certainly. His suffering was not the result of a sin he had committed against God. He was even careful enough to make sure his children were pure before God. What sin could he have committed that would cause God to punish him worse than any other human being we knew. Ultimately, Job gets his conversation with God. God reminds Job of his authority of eternity and power over all creation, of his wisdom and omnipresence, of his understanding and supremacy. Job's response to God is, I know that you can do all things, that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. Who is this that hides counsel without knowledge? Therefore I have uttered what I did not understand, things too wonderful for me which I did not know. After Job was blessed by the reminder of God's character, he was further blessed as the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. And so we come back full circle. If you cannot be grateful for what you have received, then be thankful for what you have been spared.